We are live now.
Let's rock and roll.
Perfect. Well, good morning. My name is Jacob, and I work on Tidio's solutions team, predominantly with Lyro AI, which is our conversational AI agent. Today, we are diving into how AI is actually helping teams scale customer conversations, with most importantly, without losing control of the message. Joining me is Jonathan M the founder of GTM AI Academy. And we're going to take a look at what's broken in GTM and how conversational AI like Lyro is stepping in. How you doing, Jonathan?
I am amazing, to use your own words, Jacob. How you doing?
I am also doing well. I appreciate you asking. So the big
Good.
kind of the first thing I wanted to jump in here is really to give you the floor and just if you can just speak more to the pain points that you're seeing in the GTM sphere of things related to customer service and in the front lines. I'd love to just give you the floor on that.
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, first, I just want to say thank you for having me. Honored to be here in the Tidio team. You guys are doing some good work. Um, in general, I'm seeing this kind of weird spectrum that we're kind of flying between. So, like, I'll give you an example of where last fall, I believe it was Klarna or Klaviyo, one of the K words. So I think it was Klarna. They got
Sure.
rid of a ton of people with in customer support and
Hmm.
replaced it with AI. And just this last month ago, they started hiring those same positions back because the customers did not like the experience of whatever they're given. So we're
Interesting.
going in this world where we have the spectrum between we don't know yet as customers and buyers what we do or don't like with AI. Like we're still trying to figure it out of like what's good or not. And the challenge is like with tech like Tidio is that if people just think that you're a regular chatbot from like 5 years ago, that's what they're used to. But with the
Right.
new AI world, it's a whole new world. Like Lyro is a way different beast than a regular chatbot, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like you have to overcome this view of it just being a chatbot, but it's also like where's the balance between where do we have the AI take over with support and helping with things, and then when do we need a human, and how do we make sure we can have a good balance so that we
Sure.
can obviously use the best human talent we can, but also make sure that people aren't feeling like we're just throwing them to the wolves with AI that can't help them, you know?
Right.
So it's been, I think people are just trying to figure out what that looks like. And I don't know if we know what that is yet, to be honest.
Sure.
So
No, that is yeah, makes 100% sense. And yeah, I think firing human agents at this stage in the game is a bit premature. I mean, I've
yeah.
I've been at Tidio for several years, and like no one goes and gets rid of their team. That's certainly not our intention from early on. Um,
Yeah.
but Lyro AI, our conversational AI, is really the workhorse of our platform. And we started 12 years ago
Right.
as a live chat and a ticketing platform first. So, I mean, we've seen how the market has kind of shifted from 100% human to what you're referring to as the chatbots from 5 years ago, right? Those are menu
Yeah.
driven, they're predefined, and they get some jobs done, but it's definitely not a perfect experience. And it's certainly not the same experience as speaking with a human agent.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of at the forefront of the latest and greatest automation. And Lyro, what it's doing is part of it is answering those common customer questions, right? Like any support operation that I speak to, almost always half of the volume that they're dealing with is pretty trivial, easy stuff. So training a
Yeah.
conversational AI to answer policy-based questions like your return policy or being able to speak to shipping times or even more
Right.
logistics about procuring a software and what onboarding looks like after you procure that software. So that's kind of level one, if you will, and that's really what everyone's been focused on for maybe the last year and a half. But what we're seeing is far more advanced usage of the AI beyond just answering the questions. It's checking other systems outside of our platform. Think like your booking system, your reservation system, your
Yep.
product catalog, and all the data that's there. And it's able to not only use that information and give it to visitors in chat, but it's also able to take action on that information. So just as like a basic example, right? I could tell you what your order status is, but it's a whole other thing for me to change your shipping address, right? And
Yeah.
that's kind of the latest and greatest that we're dealing with now. Um, but the at the end of the day too, it's all self-configurable, right? Like we support almost every industry, almost every business size. Some of my clients have 2 employees. Some of my clients have 2,000 employees. So
Mhm.
there's just a bunch of different ways that you can take it.
Yeah, I think I wasn't trying to, I hope you didn't take this way. I was trying to diss on what you guys or anybody else does, because that's not the case. I think it's more about
Sure,
when there's a lot of crap out there with AI tech. I've seen
sure,
550 plus demos in a year of different technologies, and there's a lot of stuff that's fluffy that adds in a little bit of AI and says it's AI powered. And I'm like, that's not as cool as it
sure,
could be. What's awesome is when you have a tool like what you guys have, and you're able to answer questions that would most people would consider advanced and need humans, but you can do it with AI, which is awesome. Because like
sure.
what I see a world of coming into is like there's going to be things that we want humans to do that we should be doing, and all the other crap that's now currently taking up that space should be given to an AI, so you can focus on what the humans actually do. And that's where Lyro comes in, is because it can do, like you said, a lot of the support tickets or questions people ask. What human wants to sit there and answer the same question of like, can you fix this thing for me? Like, no one wants to do that for a
Right,
job, right? So it's not a bad thing to have an AI be able to answer those advanced questions, but then also have an AI that's intelligent enough to know, okay, I need to get this to a human because of whatever reason, not because it's more complex. Because I personally believe AI can handle really complex issues. It's more about what does
sure.
the human need on the other side to make sure that the value they're getting might be a human-based value versus AI value. You know,
Sure. And
so
sometimes it's not even about what the human on the other end needs. It's about what that customer wants, right? And it's
yeah,
our job as yeah, as a business and as a a support organization to be able to give them what they want. So no,
yeah,
definitely when I say that we're not replacing humans, yeah, Lyro is very much working
yeah,
alongside those human agents. And I have plenty of projects that still put a button that allows you to speak to a human agent. And me and you have been discussing, I mean, pretty much for the most part, the impact on the business that the AI agent has and how that affects your
yeah.
support team and their bandwidth. But your story about Klarna in the beginning was really about the customer experience. And I think
Mhm.
that's something that also should be equally as considered is, okay, sure, a human agent could change the shipping address or could pause their subscription status or something like that. What if it's 2 in the morning, right? How many hours are you going to make your customer wait, in order to do something that's relatively trivial, like,
Right.
hey, I just need to know this information. I just need you to update this information. What I would like
Yep.
to do is I've prepared a demo today, and I'd like to show you some of these Lyro actions in person,
Cool.
because yeah, like I said, it's kind of easy mode is just answering a question. Like AI is capable of so much more,
Right.
and so I didn't want to just go through and show you how smart AI is at answering questions. I wanted to show you that it can solve the time-consuming tasks, the ones where agents are having to take this input that the customer gave them. Now I need to go into a separate system. Maybe it's a booking system or something like that. I need to find the customer. I need to locate their payment details. I need to download that invoice. Now I need to copy and paste that
Yeah.
invoice into the chat and send it to the customer. It's just terribly inefficient. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump in and take a closer look at how Lyro interacts with information that is housed outside of Tidio. And we've connected it to a couple different data sources here. I want to show you 2 use cases. I've got a use case for kind of a hypothetical co-working office that has rooms available for rent. And I just want to put myself in the customer's shoes so that I can explore what rooms are available, the type of facilities that they have, but then even book a specific room at a specific time. And then I've got a completely separate example that I want to show that is a very classic e-commerce use case for returning order information. So maybe tracking link, think order status, and then taking it a step further and allowing me to maybe cancel an order or something like that. So I'm speaking with my conversational AI here, and I'm just going to say, hi, we are wondering what rooms you have. All right. And so now this is the point where it is not checking its data sources, right? That's the easy stuff, answering FAQs and common general knowledge. Right now, through API, it just went and checked all rooms that we have. And we can see that it pulled back room A, room B, C. It's giving me some information on these rooms. And then it's also even telling me, hey, besides these rooms, we also have these individual spaces, and then we've got this casual space as well. And here's a follow-up question too: how many people do you need to accommodate? Let's just say it's me and Jonathan. Message. So now it's basically going to go cross-check and look at capacity of these rooms and see, um, There we go. For you and John, I'd recommend these perfect options. A huddle room for 1 or 2, ideal for quick meetings or discussion. Room A. What do you think, Jonathan? Is there one specifically that you liked? Do you want to get the huddle room or the room A?
I feel like lounging.
Okay, let's lounge. Yeah, let's do it. We'd like to book that lounge area. Something comfy. All right. Now, all right. Needs to know when we want to book that room. Let's see what do you have for Friday morning this week? And this is different too, right? Because usually you know, a lot of the experience with the old chat bots, we had to present the entire calendar because there was no other way. There was no other way to do it, right? We couldn't say, here's all of the available times on Monday. Here's all the available times on Tuesday, right? So with this, it's just going to check if we, first of all, it knows what day it is today. It knows that I'm looking for this week. It's going through all of the available time slots right now in that backend system. And this is exactly what a human agent would be doing, right? Like if I was speaking to a human agent, they would have to do this exact same thing. They're looking for the lounge access. Let's go ahead and give it a second here. To check the exact availability, could you please provide the specific date you're looking for? For example, well, that's going to be the 11th. And look, I'm going to not give it in that format. We'll see if it likes my format here. And those older flows, right? They didn't allow you to do things like even say going to be. You had to say literally number. So here we've got our answer. Great. The lounge area is available on July 11th at 11 o'clock. Complete your booking. All right. What do you think, Jonathan? Should we book it?
Let's do it.
All right. I'll go ahead and put it under my name. All right. Thanks for your message, processing that. So now it's taking my email. It knows what room we need. It knows the time that we need it. It knows the date that we need it. And it has just successfully created a booking in the booking platform. And so now when anyone else goes in there, they can't book the lounge July 11th at 11 o'clock. So this is end to end, right? As far as this goes. Any questions about this, Jonathan? And I mean, I'm happy to, throw some curveballs in here.
No curveballs. I'm curious on, like, do you ever see this becoming like a vocal experience? You just talk to it versus typing. And then my second question would be what's the options of different tech you can integrate with? Because obviously calendar is awesome, but there's got to be a bunch of other use cases, so I'd love to know both those. Yeah.
Tons, 100%. And we can start with what integrations can you make, because it's as simple as if the API endpoint exists, generally it's fair game for us. We just need to be able to point the AI to the endpoint that has the information it needs. So it could be anything. It could even be homegrown, home-built CRM systems. As long as you've got endpoints for the data that we're working with, totally fine.
Does this do any follow-ups after the fact?
It does. And like, here's a simple example, but even if it knows that there's more variables that's going to help it become more accurate, it'll go ahead and ask those follow-up questions. Yeah, 100%.
Cool. And then what about the other experiences, like not just typing, but like, vocally, or you see a world where this becomes a vocal agent and it just talks back and forth with a vocal AI of some kind?
Definitely not this year, but I think just even when I use AI models, even when I'm using ChatGPT, you quickly realize, whoa, my new bottleneck is how fast I can type. And when I'm using AI to do searches and to write prompts, I'm always using the voice. But as far as reciprocating that voice back to the visitor, I don't think anyone's quite there yet. It's definitely where we're going, for sure, because eventually everyone's going to be like, wow, you remember when we used to type? That was a waste of time. So definitely.
I'll tell you, man, the new 11 Labs stuff they just released, and then Sesame, they got some really good models. So you guys, I know it's just right on the corner where it's like the latency super down. I mean, it's insanely quick, and like this, the interaction itself feels very natural. So like, I have a couple of people experiencing with it, like not from this point of view, it's more from like a role play point of view, but it's awesome.
Sure.
It feels vocally like a person, from inflections to the responses to all of it, which is crazy. So
it's getting kind of creepy. And what's interesting too is like, hey, these capabilities, like technically they're not possible. And then one big update from one of the big language models, and all of a sudden a
Yep.
plethora of things are possible that
It's
weren't
all
possible
there.
just a day ago. So
Yeah.
no, yeah, the industry is moving very, very fast. So let me go
Cool.
here. So in terms of how GTM teams can leverage what you saw, I'm curious if you have any projects that you're working on today, or maybe even projects that you worked on in the past that you think could leverage the AI agent actions beyond just answering questions, right? Actually doing something for the customer on behalf of the support team. Would love to hear if you've got any insights there.
I do, but I need to have some answers from you first, if it's okay. So
Yeah,
from the
lay them on me.
GTM from GTM side, I'm seeing the use case here being something either more like you said, either supports or some sort of website experience or something. So it's either on the back end of a sale or it's in the front end of a sale, like top of funnel. So
Sure.
for go-to-market team members, I'm thinking, okay, is it a marketing leader that could possibly use this? And if so, what would be things like, what are the creative ways that a marketing leader in a go-to-market function could leverage
Yep.
this on the website to not only answer questions, but actually drive meetings and then, schedule the follow-ups and do the stuff like that. I'd love to hear from you of like, what have you seen work well from a top of funnel point of view of what,
Mhm.
what you think is possible?
100%. I think when we're thinking about just the ability to answer questions instantly, there's already a tremendous amount of value in having that, especially
Mhm.
businesses that are lead-based businesses, where,
Yeah.
I just need to know if you can do what I need you to do. And if you can't tell me that very quickly, there's 50 other businesses I can speak to that can probably do what I need you to do. So I think
Yeah.
level one is just ensuring that anyone who might be interested, anyone who has a question, big or small, regardless of how serious they are about that question, we want them to feel really comfortable asking it, and we want to give them a lightning fast answer to it that builds confidence
Right.
in what our business does for them. Beyond that is getting into something that you mentioned, like follow-up questions. So once someone asks a question, that's an amazing moment, because now we've created that engagement, and we can program Lyro and give it what we call guidances. And I could write a text-based guidance that says something along the lines of, hey, if anyone's asking questions about our services, first and foremost, give them the answer as quick as possible. You cannot consider an interaction successful if you do not at least attempt to book a consultation call with our sales team. So
Right.
I'm able to kind of layer on those operating procedures to the AI. And so
Mhm.
it knows, hey, if anyone sounds like they're interested, I have to ask them if they want to meet with our team. If they don't, that's fine. But how else are you going to make that attempt for every single visitor that is potentially interested 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? So that's a
Yeah,
big
I'm,
thing.
I'm curious on there's the RAGCAP function, right? So you have all the knowledge in your knowledge base of whatever the product is or the company or whatever stuff, right? So I think that's really powerful by itself. And then my other question is, if I had this, I'm thinking like from a marketing point of view, if I have all these website traffic visitors, my goal is to convert
Mhm.
as many of them as possible, or at least to get them into my email list or some way of capturing them
Mhm.
beyond just the website visitor, right? So is there a way that your Lyro could understand like if someone goes and looks at a blog page and they look at a product page, so does Lyro understand they've looked at those pages? They can talk to them in that context of saying, okay, I know you've read this blog, you're on this blog for like 5 minutes, you looked at this web page, you looked at our pricing. It knows that in its context combined with the knowledge
Mhm.
base and says, okay, I'm going to get this person in one of two paths, which is either sign up to the email list or to some free lead magnet or to
Right.
a meeting, right? So is it able to have that context and have that path?
It is, and it can be proactive. So it can proactively
Cool.
engage the visitor in that very moment. I could say, hey, if someone's been on our pricing page for 2 minutes, or if someone scrolls 75% of this specific page and they've also already seen this page, that's when I
Yeah.
want my AI to jump in and say, hey, we saw you're looking at this and this. If you have any questions, we're happy to help. And
Yeah.
that's
That's
how a
cool.
lot of opportunities start, is just by offering assistance. And it's true for me and my team here at Tidio.
Do you see a world where that's going to be because like the tech I'm seeing now with AI is it's not quite this motion, but there is tech out there that it does like um what's it called? Like it can take a demo deck and you
Hmm.
can pop it up and then you have a vocal conversation with the demo deck. So it's kind of like to me, it's like almost like combining the worlds where you have an AI agent like yourself on the website that
Hmm.
pulls in the conversation. Then when someone says, "Can you show me a demo?" They go, "Yeah, sure." Bam, and either picks up a YouTube video or does something to where it takes the next step so that the person is more warm is able to do stuff like that.
Well, definitely showing videos and things like that for sure. And Lyro
Yeah.
guidances allow me to to kind of define exactly what style engagements I want a follow-up like that to look like. So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of back to the previous point. Hey, if someone's asking about our pricing, you absolutely have to send them this demo information, or we can open up things in modal, if we want it to pop up that way. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a ton of different ways that we can configure it.
It's cool. Like it.
Yeah, 100%. So that's kind of the gist that I had today. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I'd love to tell us more about the GTM, the AI Academy, your business network.
All the stuff. So
Tell us
I'm
all the stuff.
all this stuff. I'm the head of growth at Momentum, which we are an orchestration platform. So once someone actually talks to either an AI or a salesperson inside of the sales process, then we kick in and kind of handle it from there throughout the customer journey, which is a lot of fun. The academy, I launched that 2.5 years ago, so I've had several thousands of people go through the academy on how to use AI in your teams or your personal life. And then the AI Business Network is a little bit more from a strategic level of how do you think about this and how do you roll out an AI strategy across your entire organization? Because I'm of the opinion that just throwing Copilot or throwing ChatGPT teams at your team is not an AI strategy. It's just another tool you're throwing at them. So
Sure.
we try to help educate people on how to think about it from a strategic lens, because there's a lot of things that's very similar to go-to-market strategy. It's just you add that AI flavor and it makes things not complicated, but different. And I just find I have to help people kind of think through some options. So that's
Sure.
kind of what I do. And then I advise people. I teach at Bryant University AI. Like I live, breathe, eat, sleep, teach, talk AI
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all over the place. And like I said, I've seen 550 demos of AI tech in the last year. And there's not to diss anyone. Like every person I've seen a demo from always means well. And there's some tech that is really good, but there's some that just literally is like a custom GPT with a different interface. And there's
Sure.
others that do some really, really cool stuff. So seeing where things are going is it's just been a blast to kind of see where people are at. And funny thing
100%.
is that even the people who have a custom GPT with a different wrapper, it's still cool tech. Like for people who use it and
Sure.
like it, it's still amazing. It's better than we were 2 years ago. So I can't really diss it. But yeah,
100%. Well, I really
yeah, of
appreciate you joining us today. It was a pleasure speaking with you. We
course.
are rolling these solutions out to teams that need that frontline support, for teams that are looking for that additional action taking from their AI agents. And so, if this resonates with anyone out there, definitely give us a holler. Reach out to Jonathan. Reach out to me, and we're more than happy to help.